Seinfeld is one of the most watched TV shows of all time. Even people who don't like it are familiar with it. This is why it kind of surprises me that Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David's next effort after Seinfeld, has always been a cult show that the vast majority of people, including the vast majority of Seinfeld fans, have never seen an episode of. I was in this category for a long time. Curb Your Enthusiasm was one of those shows that I always planned on watching but never got around to. Until recently. Now I can say, having binge-watched the whole show a couple of times, it is absolutely brilliant. It is incredibly funny, and in some ways, I enjoy it even more than Seinfeld. One might expect, because the character of George was famously based off of Larry David, that Curb Your Enthusiasm might be like Seinfeld except from George's perspective. However, when you watch Curb, you realize that Larry isn't really George. He's George's neuroticism mixed with Jerry's chill, mixed with a touch of Kramer's eccentricity. All of the Seinfeld characters were, in many ways, based off of him. On Seinfeld, despite the fact that the show was named after one character, there were four main characters who pretty evenly split the screen time and attention. On Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's really only one main character. Oh sure, there are other characters, but the only time they get subplots dedicated to them is when those subplots directly affect Larry. There are hardly any scenes in the whole series which Larry isn't in. And these other characters kinda come and go. At the beginning of the show, Cheryl felt like the second most important character only behind Larry. But now she's been dropped from the show altogether. Jeff and Susie feel like main characters, although in some episodes they definitely only feel like minor ones. Richard Lewis sometimes feels like a major character, but he doesn't even appear in every episode. Then there's Leon, who emerged as a main character, although, even in Season 8, he didn't appear in every episode. The show's setting also changes constantly. Seinfeld famously took place in the same apartment and same coffee shop for all 9 seasons. On Curb, Larry changes homes multiple times, and in Season 8 even moves from Los Angeles to New York. In Seinfeld, the characters famously never saw their relationship statuses change. But on Curb, Larry went from married to divorced. The only thing that's consistent on Curb Your Enthusiasm is Larry. Everything else changes. And what makes the show work is the fact that Larry is just such an incredible character. One of the main differences between Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm is the fact that Curb is largely improvised. This means that the lines aren't as polished, but sometimes the spontaneity makes things even funnier. Also, it's clear that some episodes are almost entirely improvised. You really feel like this is what it would be like to hang out with Larry David and Richard Lewis in real life. Other episodes are clearly very scripted, and feel basically like something you would have seen on Seinfeld. Curb Your Enthusiasm is just a vehicle for Larry David to do whatever he wants to make you laugh. Then you have the fact that there were over 20 episodes per season in Seinfeld and only 6 episodes per season in Curb. Heck, they don't even make a season every year on Curb. They make a new season whenever they feel like it. Any show that tries to come up with 20 episodes a year every year is going to have throwaway episodes and throwaway plot lines. Seinfeld probably had the fewest throwaway episodes and throwaway plot lines of any 20-episode-a-year sitcom ever, but it still definitely had throwaway episodes and throwaway plot lines. Curb, while some episodes are better than others, you really feel like every episode was something that Larry David really wanted to make. Every episode is inspired. And because of all this, Curb Your Enthusiasm doesn't need the laugh track, the fan-favorite characters, the Kramer entrances, or any of the gimmicks that Seinfeld needed to use as a crutch to get by when they didn't have a great idea. Curb Your Enthusiasm makes you laugh just by being incredibly funny. So I'm not going to say that Curb Your Enthusiasm is better than Seinfeld. Seinfeld definitely provided many more hours of entertainment for me, and is far more culturally significant. I guess I would view it kind of like this. When Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld were working together, it was kind of like Lennon and McCartney. Oh sure, one of them was the straightforward guy who hangs out with presidents, acts like a grandfather figure to their comedy or music industries respectively, and is a household name around the world. But everyone who's a big fan kind of knows that the other one was the true genius behind the operation. Another way of putting it, watching Seinfeld is like drinking a rum and coke. Oh sure, you got a little bit of Larry David in there, but you got a lot of that sweet Jerry Seinfeld in there, a clean-cut, straightforward, observational comedian that anyone can relate to. So it goes down pretty easy. Curb Your Enthusiasm is like drinking that rum straight out of the bottle. Not everyone can do it, but for those who can, man is it good.